turn chaos into fuel, the anti-fragility advantage. Let's do a deep dive around one of the most important mindset strategies for walking the flow path, walking the psychedelic path, the meditation path, the path of higher consciousness. It's, we're gonna do a deep dive around anti-fragility and to weave that into what I call integration theory. And this is so supremely important that we are integrating our experiences and that we are open to anything and everything that is going to happen, and that we're not shying away from energies, but we're utilizing those. The promise of anti-fragility, first coined by Nassim Taleb. He talks about how anti-fragile systems gain from disorder. They use chaos as fuel. Again, chaos, disorder, confusion, the volatility. They use that all for fuel. And I'm going to hopefully shift the frame around all of that. So we have strong systems and processes in place where we can metabolize that energy and to use that ultimately as fuel for our next level growth. Because priming prosperity pathways is not about manifestation and waiting for magical things to happen. It's about embracing the discomfort and being ready, priming our body and physiology and creating the conditions for lightning to strike. And again, we're going to do a deep dive around anti-fragility. It's my earnest hope and prayer that again, we can shift the frame on discomfort, on noise, on chaos, all the things that signify the times that we're in right now. And then possibly we can start to utilize that, transmute that energy as fuel for, again, our next level growth, our health, our vitality, increased connection, increased service impact, all of that. There's a term called hormetic stress that is, I don't know when it first came on the scene, maybe in the last decade or two. Sometimes these things take a moment to trickle into the culture. But the basis of hormetic stress is that it's eustress, it's good stress. The notion that 2 minutes in the ice bath or a cold shower, extraordinarily beneficial. That could boost dopamine up to 250%, boost norepinephrine up to 540%. Dopamine's the molecule of motivation, norepinephrine's the molecule of focus. We all want more motivation and focus. Yeah, 2 minutes can be really beneficial, but 20 minutes in a cold plunge, it could kill you. It probably wouldn't, but we're going to start to get into that point where at a certain dosage, things are a medicine, and then at a higher dosage, they can be a poison. Another example, 20 minutes in the sauna, oh my goodness, so good for cardiovascular health. Even I've heard Rhonda Patrick say that 4 to 7 sauna sessions at about 20 minutes increases or reduces our risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 50%, which is wild to think about that as a longevity strategy and recovery strategy. But again, 20 minutes in the sauna, very good for us. 2 hours in the sauna could kill you. So again, it's these smaller doses of stress. There's so many programs, what I affectionately call bullshit incorporated programs, that are only meant to dull our spirits. These creature comforts that are absolutely killing us. And when our bodies, we've evolved from hunter-gatherer ancestors that were always on the prowl, always on the move. They were living outside. They had discomfort was just part of their lifestyle. And now we have these modern day creature comforts, and we're sicker than ever. So this is a way that we can proactively seek out discomfort. I love what my mentor Akshay Nanavati, he wrote the book called Fearvana that was endorsed by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Highly recommended, Fearvana. Check that out. But Akshay says, find a worthy struggle or struggle will find you. So this is a way that we can seek out worthy struggles, like getting in the cold plunge, taking a cold shower. We all look at that knob in the morning, even if it's 10 seconds, 20 seconds to start. Possibly getting in the sauna if you have the sauna access, but maybe more practical strategies would be engaging our breath, engaging meditation. Meditation might not seem like a hormetic stressor, but it's really hard for people to sit with their thoughts. So it might not bring the acute stress like many of these other hormetic stressors might, but it's still going to be really challenging at first and extraordinarily beneficial. When we do breath work, we're filling our body with acute adrenaline, and that can be stressful. We're stressing our nervous system but in a healthy, adaptive manner. The working out, I think that probably the best example would be exercise. When we're at the gym, we're stressing our body, we're breaking down our muscles so they can build back up and be much stronger. When we're on the bike or we're out for a run, our bodies are full of adrenaline and all these neurochemicals, and that in the moment we're really activated from a physiological standpoint. But we all know that exercise is super good for us, and it's one of the best longevity drugs. It beats any pill or potion or anything out there. Is moving our body, getting our heart rate up, getting that exercise, and these practices, these strategies can be really, really, really beneficial for cultivating that spirit of anti-fragility. And then again, weaving it into integration theory, having this be a framework for cultivating self-awareness, for boosting up our energies. The hallmark of the experience of microdosing and macrodosing is boosted mood and energy levels. So we've got more gusto, we've got a little bit more energy. So it's a wonderful time to recommit to fitness, to moving our body, and to take time for stillness, take time for sitting with our thoughts. I've talked in depth about the trauma journaling, that is another example of hormetic stress. We're sitting immersed 10 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes in our deepest traumas, sitting in the of what happened, maybe what we've done, maybe our behavior, or how we were hurt by others, or a deep, painful trauma in our life, or loss, or difficult, challenging situation or adversity that we've come across. So we're sitting with that discomfort. That's not fun to do, but the science supports, we can process this heaviness and then clear that energetic space. And this just struck me last night. I was listening to the Huberman Lab podcast where he was doing his deep dive around the science of journaling. And it's like we have options here. We could feel that heaviness. We could bravely bring the light of awareness into the darkness to clear and to process our past traumas and to reconcile some of those past hurts. Or those traumas, we can ignore them, pretend that they're not there, and not put in the work, but then they're taxing our bodies 24/7. Our nervous system is activated as if the trauma is still happening to us. So I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding of what trauma is and its negative health effects for us. So again, I encourage everyone to lean in, to feel all the feels, move through that so we can clear that energetic space for new aligned blessings to come forth, so we can prime prosperity pathways, so we're not carrying so much heaviness, so we can envision the path ahead. And again, all of these practices, these integration practices and these hormetic stressors, and I don't want to discourage you, the listener, that might be saying, hey, well, Matt, that's really great for you because you can do all those things. But it's really important that we start where we stand and we do what we can. And then we do a little bit more. Then we're always looking to do 3% more, 3 to 5% more, and continually pushing our edge, even if it's 1% more that we're doing each day. that will over the course of time will equate to incredible growth and development and expansion. And again, start where you stand, do what you can, and then tomorrow maybe we do a little bit more. So this is a process. It does take time, and that I think we start to get momentum, and we can start to get momentum pretty quickly when we're microdosing, when we're tapping into our breath, when we're bringing all this peace into our nervous system. We can start to have vision for the path ahead, and when we can see the path ahead, I think that we can struggle a lot better, put in the work necessary for achieving and moving through the obstacles to get there. I love the analogy around psychedelics. When I had Dr. Chris Ryan, he used the analogy that the psychedelic experience, and this is more the high dose than the macrodose, it can show us the top of the mountain. But it's our job to climb the mountain. But the high dose, yeah, it can show us the beauty, the majesty, what we're doing this for. What is this for? The climb, and for the beauty and the majesty and the glory, and for our service aspirations, and for living our best life and going all in on this one human experience that we have, this precious life that we all have. So we can see that in our mind's eye. And then it's our job in the day-to-day to put in the work. And these practices and these strategies can be very, very helpful for regulating our nervous system and for emotional processing, so we can weather the climb, so we can show up consistently, so we can show up. That's the most important thing, that we're showing up. Even if we don't feel like it, we show up, we honor our commitments, and that's going to build that spirit of anti-fragility. And we can start to utilize all of the chaos and the confusion and the polarization and the discord, and we can utilize all of that, the disorderly, I should say. We can utilize all of that as fuel for our next level growth, for motivation, for drive, so we can lean into the friction and discomfort of life. If you have any questions about anti-fragility or integration, please reach out. Please put in the comments below anything that I missed, any hormetic stressors that you might benefit from that I didn't share, or any integration practices that have been beneficial to you on your path. Of course, there's other, yoga is hard. That's a wonderful integration strategy. I'm not doing yoga right now as much. I'm connected to my breath. When I lift weights, it does feel like a yoga class. There's a little bit of a digression. But again, I'd love to hear your thoughts and impressions. If this resonates and you think might add value to a friend or family, please consider sharing this. We'd love to get this message out, to invite possibility, invite hope that there is a way to navigate these precarious, turbulent times, and not just navigate it, but to thrive. 46 years old, absolutely obliterating my fitness goals. I've never felt this good in my entire life. And because I'm doing all of these things, and I'm seeing it time and time again with my clients, we're leaning into this edge, we're moving through, we're embracing the discomfort. And again, as Akshay Nanavati says, find a worthy struggle, or struggle will find you. And I think that holds true for find a worthy fight, or a fight will find you. And so we're embracing the worthy struggle. Paradoxically, our life becomes easier because we're choosing our struggle, and it's conscious, and it's honorable, and it's in alignment. And then less of the bullshit incorporated struggle will be thrusted upon us. So much love to all of you. Love and peace. We'll see you tomorrow.